First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Well, live look from Red Mountain on this First Alert Weather Day. We are tracking showers and storms for you right now. And we have had some lightning. We heard some rumbles earlier. So glad, Tania and Lauren, to have you guys back here with us for First Alert Weather Extra. Just noticed that Etowah County now under a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, these storms have been popping, haven't they?
They really have. And we're continuing to track them right here and give you all updates. But there's actually another round. Tomorrow afternoon, we could see a strong and a possible severe storm as we bring in your weekend.
Yeah, we did declare tomorrow another First Alert Weather Day. So if you did not see much rain today, you're going to have a chance tomorrow and again on Sunday. These storms are going to produce quite a bit of lightning and could be intense. Let's go ahead and show you right now. We'll go to radar and let's get an updated time on that. Tania is going to pull up that warning polygon just to show us Etowah and Cherokee counties. The warning was in effect for Cherokee County until 6:30, but you can see now north of Gadsden, and that is until 7:30. So if you're in Etowah County, Gadsden, right around Nakalula Falls, points north towards Leesburg, and also watching around Reese City and Mountain Borough and areas in the Cherokee County Center, points north towards Blanche. Let's get in here really close. A lot of wind with this. This is going to be tracking south there over Lookout Mountain and Sand Mountain and areas down towards Weiss Lake Center, Cedar Bluff. A first alert. Gusty winds could top 58 miles per hour. Not seeing a tornado with this, but actually, Tania, let's go to the velocity data on this and take a look at some of those wind gusts. And you can plot this. Is this high top radar that we're looking at? So, okay, so let's just go in here and plot some of these areas where we're seeing these wind velocities. And you can see seeing some gusts there. Some of the estimates showing 20 miles per hour, but there's going to be some rogue wind gusts. There you go. See around 30, 40 miles per hour. So some strong winds with this. We had a couple of reports of some toppled trees in areas to the north, but you know how it goes with these summer storms as they develop. Sometimes you get these wind gusts, a lot of downed trees in some areas, and possibly even those power outages. So plan for that as those storms move south. But other than those storms, there's a area, not a lot happening through St. Clair, Blount County, a little shower not far from Nectar. And then we have Birmingham, that storm popped up, cooled things off, and now it's all developing south. But look at all this lightning in here. That is right over Shelby County Airport, Alabaster, and right along Interstate 65. Some heavy rain falling in here. That is right over the radar site. This is what we call the cone of silence, and that is because the beam, it doesn't just go aim straight into the sky. It's at an angle, so it's picking up those storms. But you can see right there from the radar site as it scans. This is all heavy rain in here, and that extends back in towards places like Country Hills, and you can see Tania's putting some roads on here. Spring Creek Road areas, Highway 23 and Highway 25 as well. Just down the road in Montevallo, we've been dealing with some of that rainfall moving through and cooling things off, and Highway 155. Now, this is a non-severe storm, but there's Highway 31 in areas around County Road 131 as well. Wessington also dealing with that heavy rainfall, but we're zoomed in really close there over Chilton and Shelby counties now. Some of that rain pressing to the south. But that's what we're tracking at the moment. We're going to be seeing more of these showers and thunderstorms again for tomorrow, popping up during the afternoon hours. And also for tomorrow, that heat advisory has been expanded. That is going to continue into the day on Saturday. It looks like tomorrow heat index levels could top 105 in some areas. Just want to show you where the rain has fallen. You can see the feels like temperature 77 in Tuscaloosa, but it still feels like 98 here in Talladega. So we still have some areas where that heat, it is on right now across parts of our area. But we will talk more about your weekend and next week. And right now, you can scan and tap our First Alert Weather Day QR code to download our First Alert Weather app and get updates on closings and storm shelter information. That is a great tool to have because you get those lightning precipitation alerts. You're going to be out and about this weekend. Well, you need to be able to get those alerts. And check out this stunning video out of Missouri sent in by Ryan Carty, one of our storm spotters and weather watchers that we hear from often here, always with the Weather Extra. Ryan sharing this from West Plains and Mountain Grove area in Missouri, and these are some positive lightning strikes there that he sent some video in earlier. He was out monitoring storms last night, and just unbelievable cloud to ground lightning there, something that we are seeing a lot of today. And we have these hot conditions on days like this, and especially in the month of of August here in Alabama over the years. Seems like some of the storms that pop up this time of the year are just intense lightning producers. And meteorologist Lauren Linehan standing by right now to give us the lightning lowdown. And Lauren, lightning certainly the underrated killer, as it's called in weather.
That's very true, Wes. And hey, it's always good to be low down to the ground if lightning is around, because what is lightning naturally going to go for? That tallest object. So Tania and I definitely are stepping outside right now. But lightning safety, we want to talk about that before we even touch on what exactly causes lightning. Just to let you know, if you've ever thought, okay, let's say lightning strikes right beside me. I always say this to school kids, would you just want to reach your hand out and touch it? Absolutely not. That's because lightning, well, first of all, can electrocute you, but lightning is hotter than the surface of the sun. Just how hot is it? 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So don't play around with lightning. But what actually causes lightning? Well, you can get it when there's a lot of warm air in the atmosphere. So warm air rises, and that eventually produces clouds when it condenses. And when that happens, ice particles and water droplets actually collide within the cloud. And when you have ice particles and water droplets colliding, they can cause positive charges. It basically makes electricity positive, not just positive charges, but also negative charges in the cloud as well. So you get a cloud to set up. You have positive charges at the top of the cloud, negative charges at the bottom of the cloud, and then at the ground you have positive charges. So all of this difference, these differences in charge, help to promote lightning. You get energy going from the negative charge down to the positive charge, and that can cause a flash. But you can also get a situation where positive strikes can occur, and they can often occur straight from the anvil of a cloud, and those are actually the ones that we were just talking about that can likely be the most deadly. Well, we're not just tracking lightning, we're also tracking a typhoon. And the Atlantic Ocean isn't the only sea that has been churning up tropical systems. Japan's eastern coast bracing for Typhoon Ampel, which was rapidly intensifying and is now what would be considered a Category 4 hurricane in the Atlantic. Tens of thousands of people along coastal cities have been ordered to evacuate due to the risk of flooding and mudslides. The storm is expected to weaken by Saturday morning as it moves, fortunately, into cooler water. So we just said typhoon. You're probably like, wait, hold on. You said it was like a hurricane. What's the difference? Hurricane and typhoon, those are just different names for a tropical cyclone. It just depends on what part of the world you're in. Here in the U.S., we say hurricane, but if you live somewhere around the Northwest Pacific Ocean, like around East Asia, then instead of calling it a hurricane, you call it a typhoon. So it's not even a totally different system, it's just a different name. Like Wes is Wes, Tania is Tania, and Lauren is Lauren. And on that note, Tania.
I love it. We're all ourselves, right? And so is Hurricane Ernesto. It's doing its own thing in the Atlantic. It's the only active system that we are monitoring in the ocean right now. Those warm ocean waters still holding on and helping that system to stay a Category 2 at the current moment. Notice its winds, still maximum sustained winds at 100 miles per hour with winds gusting up at 120. It's moving to the northeast just around 13 miles per hour and getting really, really close to Bermuda, already bringing impacts to that island. And it's likely going to make landfall across that island as we bring in Saturday morning. After it makes landfall, it will stay and really weaken into a Category 1 hurricane and then continue to track north of the Atlantic. It could continue to bring some dangerous rip currents along the east coast, but that's the latest update on Hurricane Ernesto. No impacts from that system here across central Alabama, but we do have a different system, a front pushing through, that's going to be bringing us another round of storms as we bring in your weekend. We'll have a full look at that 7-day forecast in just a bit, but don't go anywhere, because in 30 seconds we take a quick check on radar as well as take you to the sea as we talk about the impacts warmer temperatures are having on sea life. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We are still tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms that have been moving across our area. Want to do a quick radar check for you. The first spot that we want to highlight that there is a severe thunderstorm warning still in place until 7:30 p.m. Central Time is Cherokee County. And let's make sure that we turn on the Huntsville radar so you can get a more accurate view of what is moving towards Center, Cedar Bluff, Black Creek. We have this one storm that is producing a lot of intense lightning around Albertville. That's going to be moving to the east-southeast towards that I-59 corridor. So areas like Luke, Reese City, Bomar, these are all in the path of these storms that are likely going to be producing some strong wind gusts. And then we also have these storms down a little farther to the south in Shelby County and in Chilton County that are producing some very heavy rainfall and some intense lightning as well along and south of Calera. Really, this storm near Alabaster just east of I-65 is also an intense lightning producer, but a first alert for anyone along I-65 this evening from Calera, Alabaster down towards Clanton. You could be seeing some heavy downpours, but we'll continue to track it right here on Weather Extra.
Thanks, Lauren. And we will continue to be battling the heat here as we bring in your Saturday. That's another reason why we've declared it a first alert weather day. Heat advisories in effect. It's going to be a very hot and humid day, and we'll see heat indices topping 105. So those triple-digit temperatures will be back, although some of you are getting a little bit of heat relief after some heavy rain has moved through your area. But not just are we battling heat here on land. Look at these ocean water temperatures. Very, very hot. Mid-80s down in the Gulf of Mexico, but some spots in the water showing temperatures in the upper 80s, like 87. Notice as you move further down into the Caribbean, those temperatures a little bit warmer, but still in the 80s. But the reason why we like to talk about the ocean temperatures is because the temperatures of the water affects life. This leads into how marine life in Florida could use some relief from the heat. Scientists are finding that temperatures in South Florida estuaries are hotter than anywhere else in the world. Fox's Brianna Ardana has more on this story.
With a fan in hand,
it's hot all the time. There's one season and it's summer.
Or a dip in the water, we're finding ways to stay cool here on land. But marine life doesn't have a way to escape the heat.
Last year in July, surface water temperature in Florida Bay went up to 38 centigrade. That's higher than our body temperature.
38 centigrade or Celsius is about 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Sea surface temperatures are rising in Florida Bay, Tampa Bay, and in South Florida's estuaries and coastal waters. It's the focus of a new study by the University of South Florida, looking at a 20-year period. Oceanography professor Chua Min Hu explains what they found.
Well, actually, to our surprise, South Florida estuaries, those are the waters between the ocean and the land. They are warming much faster than global oceans,
putting marine life under stress and making it harder to survive. Last July recorded the worst coral bleaching event in Florida. Organizations like Mote Marine Laboratory are working to restore them.
Because we have such stressful conditions out on the reef here in Florida, we really have to study what corals can survive these threats that aren't going away.
The hotter temperatures place higher stakes on restoration efforts.
I think, yes. This will give a difficult time to people who want to restore seagrass, who want to restore corals.
And seagrass is a main food source for manatees.
But so far, nothing really, really bad has happened yet. But that doesn't guarantee in the future we are still this lucky.
Who points out more frequent hot sea temperatures that also last longer would be all it takes. So the hope now is to slow the warming down. Reporting in Tampa, Brianna Arredondo, Fox 13 News.
And still ahead on First Alert Weather Extra, we continue to track storms moving throughout central Alabama, plus bring you an interesting story from under the sea that shows, just as we kind of showed you, humans aren't we aren't the only ones who enjoy slumber parties, y'all. We'll be right back. Yeah, I know I pulled it. You know what? I'm not going to say what I pulled. Okay, so we're doing another radar bump. Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Looking at First Alert AccuTrack, there are still 2 storms of note. We have one that is moving towards Etowah and Cherokee County, where we currently have severe thunderstorm warnings in place until 7:30. These storms are going to have some intense lightning and strong wind gusts. And then we also have storms that aren't severe, but still impactful with heavy rain and lightning moving through Shelby County and Chilton County. So over the next couple of hours, these storms will continue moving to the south and east. So we'll go ahead and give a first alert for Coosa County and possibly somewhere like over into Calhoun County. You could see these storms moving through. But hey, even though the weather's going to be gloomy this weekend with more storms in the forecast, there's going to be plenty of hot sunshine though. But with those storms finally getting out of here by Monday, conditions should be favorable to look up at the super blue moon. I had the chance to speak with Dr. Eunice Kahn, who spoke with us about the science of this special celestial event.
So tell us, obviously on a clear night, the night sky is beautiful all on its own, but there's really something special about this August full moon. Can you tell us more about it?
Of course, I would be more than happy to tell the viewers about a very exciting phenomenon that is coming up, and we will be able to see the clear weather permitting. So we will be having a supermoon starting Monday through Wednesday. And why this is a rare occurrence, because not only it will be a supermoon, it's going to be a blue moon. So this phenomenon, it will be next visible in January of 2037 in the sky. So that is why all the astronomers and in fact the public as well, they're very excited about it.
And I know we've had a lot of media coverage over the past year or so about just the solar eclipses, but what makes a blue moon and a supermoon so special?
So the first, I think I will give a bit of details about what a blue moon is and what a supermoon is. So a supermoon, as we know, is a moon that is bigger and brighter than usual. So what happens is that the orbit of the moon around the Earth is not exactly circular, so it is more elliptical. It means that the moon is sometimes farther away than the Earth, and sometimes it is closer to the Earth. So it can be as close as 226,000 miles to the Earth, and it can be as far as 253,000 miles away from Earth. So when we have a full moon, and it is also closest to the Earth, it is called the supermoon, because the moon can be 14% bigger. And that's not the only characteristic that defines it. It can be as much as 30% brighter. It means the sky will show this beautiful spectacle when the moon will look bigger as well as it will look brighter. And then we have the blue moon. So the blue moon is something when we within a given season, when we have a full moon, if we have 4 full moons in a season, in the summer or in the spring or in the fall or in the winter, the third one is called a blue moon. And the word blue comes from once in a blue moon. So it's like a rare occurrence. The moon will not be blue visibly, but it will be a rare instance. So we had a blue moon, we had like a super moon in June, then in July. Then this is the third one of the summer. That is why it is called a blue moon.
It's in a blue moon, and always great hearing from Dr. Kahn, and we're going to be checking back in with him. We'll have more on that story coming up on Monday, so you'll want to stay tuned. Get those cameras ready. Should have some lovely views out there because we're going to have another nice start to the week. Check out that forecast. We'll get to Monday and Tuesday. We're talking highs in the 80s, but those nice, cool, crisp evenings on the way. In fact, we'll probably see those temperatures. I know that shows 66 degrees there Tuesday morning, but we're going to have some areas to the north in the low 60s out there. Even next Wednesday, looks like those temperatures around 65 there early on. So we will have some nice improvements coming up. Want to take you to East Alabama, Jacksonville right now at 90 degrees. It is hot. It is humid. This is one of the areas there where we need to watch it. We have some storms developing just north of us. You can see they're dropping in towards Gadsden. We're under severe thunderstorm warnings. Could be some damaging wind gusts. And that line of storms, it's nasty. You can see it extends there north of Atlanta. So for folks flying, trying to make a connection connection there at Atlanta Hartsfield. You can see the way that's tracking to the south. There could be some impacts there, so I know a lot of folks are watching us, probably about to depart from Birmingham, watching some of those storms. Also, you can see around Clanton some storms, but West Alabama, things have settled down. It really bubbled up across West Alabama, but that rain cooling things off. So a lot of cloud cover in here too. So the rain has mostly tapered off, as you can see around Tuscaloosa. But where it is raining and where we still have some intense lightning in the Clanton area and Thorsby, Jemison, back to the north here around Shelby, Lay Lake, Talladega Springs, and Wilsonville. If you're watching me in these areas at lightning, you see cloudy ground lightning in here. That is right around Kingdom Crossroads, Talladega Springs, mentioned back in places like Fayetteville, Sylacauga, Fayetteville Road areas, giving you that first alert. That's where this is tracking towards. There's Oak Grove. Probably, Tania, we check our camera there. We might actually see a little bit of lightning on the Oak Grove camera. But this severe thunderstorm warning goes until 7:30 here for parts of Etowah and Cherokee counties, and the main concern, damaging straight line winds. Not seeing a tornado threat with this, but there will be some loud rumbles as that moves south. Now, if you missed out on the rain today, another setup like this for tomorrow, and this is what we're talking about, those storms that could produce some damaging wind gusts as they track to the south. Let's just take a look at some of the model data here for Saturday. And first off, one thing you'll notice is tonight the storms will lessen in coverage. But tomorrow morning, maybe a couple of showers, but as we heat up, those storms really start to pop again. There's 6 o'clock, and we'll have to watch it for some strong to severe storms tracking south. And then a final round on Sunday that moves south with a cool front. And what that's going to do is, of course, leave us with those pleasant temperatures as we go into the start of next week. So that's what we're tracking. No concerns about Ernesto at the moment. That system's going to stay out over the Atlantic, and that is the only system in the tropics. But we'll talk more about the 7-day forecast, check in on some weather photos as we continue right here on this First Alert Weather Day.
Okay, are we going to show the sharks instead of the photos? Because we teased it. We teased it.
What you got?
We teased the shark video, and we're not going to show it because we only have 25 seconds.
Can we come up under it and close out?
Yeah, just close out because we already said we were going to show it. To close out tonight, we head down under where a group of marine scientists aboard a research vessel in Australia surveyed a marine park where they made the discovery of thousands of sleeping female sharks. Scientists suggest it was likely a feeding stop before they made their journey to lay eggs. We love a good shark sleepover.
That's crazy. Wow. Well, anyways, we'll have more forecast updates tonight, first at 9.
See you tonight.